Dear brothers and sisters in Christ, and friends of all faiths and beliefs, the story I am about to share with you is quite extraordinary and provides a revealing look at the state of religious freedom in the modern world. The central figure of this story is none other than Cristiano Ronaldo, the most famous soccer player in the world. Picture an electrifying evening in Saudi Arabia. The atmosphere is charged, the air thick with emotion and tension. Al Nassr and Al Shorta, two of the strongest teams in the Arab Champions League, are facing off in a crucial match. The stands are packed. The spectators are on the edge of their seats. The scoreboard reads 0-0, and time seems to be ticking away with no change in sight. Into this setting, Cristiano Ronaldo springs into action. With agility and skill that only he possesses, he dribbles past opponents and evades risky tackles until he's taken down in the penalty box. The referee, without hesitation, calls for a penalty kick. Ronaldo picks up the ball and places it on the spot with the care of an artist in front of their canvas. He takes a few steps back, appears to reflect for a moment with his eyes closed, as if mentally preparing himself. Then he runs up and kicks. The ball, with a trajectory as accurate as a laser beam, zips into the bottom right corner of the net, eluding the outstretched hands of the opposing goalkeeper. It's a goal that not only seals a win for Al Nassr, but also catapults them directly into the final. But what happens next is as significant as the goal itself. Before his iconic victory scream reverberates through the stadium, Ronaldo makes the sign of the cross. It's a quick, almost instinctive gesture, a conditioned reflex honed by years of religious practice and faith. In that moment, Ronaldo is not just a soccer player who has just scored. He's a man giving thanks to God for a favorable outcome, a man of faith acknowledging divine providence in his life. Now, anywhere else, this gesture would pass as an act of personal devotion, probably overlooked or barely noticed. But this is not anywhere else. This is Saudi Arabia, a nation where Islamic law is strictly enforced and where the public practice of Christianity is strictly prohibited. In this country, it is not allowed for non-Muslims to pray publicly, let alone make such a distinctively Christian sign as the sign of the cross. Ronaldo grew up in a Catholic family in Madeira, Portugal, under the guidance of a deeply religious mother, Maria Dolores dos Santos Aveiro. Maria Dolores's faith was the bedrock of the family during hard times, the guiding light that led Ronaldo through the challenges of life. It's no exaggeration to say that faith is woven into the very fabric of his existence. The story of his birth, in fact, is a clear example of how faith can intervene in the course of events. Maria Dolores, due to adverse circumstances, had been advised to abort multiple times. Yet her faith gave her the strength to continue with the pregnancy, convinced that if God wanted that child to be born, then there must be a divine plan for him. And who could say she was wrong, given the global phenomenon that Cristiano Ronaldo has become? The issue becomes even more intriguing when considering the broader context. In 2017, Real Madrid removed the cross from the club's crest out of respect for Arabs. Other athletes have faced much graver consequences for publicly expressing their Christian faith in Muslim countries. For example, Juan Pablo Pino, a Colombian soccer player, was arrested in Saudi Arabia for having a tattoo of Jesus. Ronaldo's act could have far-reaching repercussions beyond what one might imagine. We're not talking about just any soccer player. We're talking about one of the most influential figures in the world of sports and, broadly speaking, global popular culture. His sign of the cross is not just a personal act of faith, but an act that raises questions about religious freedom, tolerance, and human rights in a country with a poor record on all these fronts. Therefore, Ronaldo's gesture becomes a powerful symbol in this context. It's a silent act of defiance, a cry for freedom in a land where religious freedom is almost a non-existent concept. It is a tangible sign of the tension between man's law and God's law, between earthly rules and divine ideals. Ronaldo, probably without even realizing it, has lifted the veil on a much larger and more complex debate that concerns not just him, but all of us, regardless of our faith or lack thereof. It's a debate about the freedom to express what we believe, to live according to our conscience, to be truly free. And so, the words of St. Paul come to mind. There is neither Jew nor Gentile, neither slave nor free, nor is there male and female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus. Galatians 3:28. In a world increasingly divided by prejudice, nationalism, and fanaticism, these words take on ever greater urgency. Ronaldo's sign of the cross on a soccer field in Saudi Arabia may seem like a small gesture, but it's a gesture that reminds us of the fundamental importance of religious freedom and human dignity. We invite you to share your thoughts and reflections in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated